Hello everyone. Today I am going to explain about the pi section filter or CLC filter. Okay. So here we have CLC, capacitor inductor capacitor filter or pi section filter. So this is we are going to see here. So the basic circuit diagram of pi section filter is this one. So the output of the full wave rectifier is given to the pi section filter. Why it is called as pi? So generally the pi will be like this. Okay. So here we have connected capacitor, inductor and capacitor. So it is connected like a pi. So that's why it is called as what? Pi section filter. Okay. So here we will consider that first how we can calculate the ripple factor for this pi section filter. We will see. So first what we will do here is we will consider the capacitor filter, the output of the full wave rectifier. First I will give to the capacitor filter what we have with capacitance C, and first we will consider the analysis or the Fourier series representation of output of this capacitor, and from that one we will calculate the different values, and after that we will apply that one to the inductor. After that the output of inductor is given to the capacitor. So like this we will reduce the DC component, AC component that is present in the output of the filter. Okay. So here C, L and C are connected in the form of pi. So that's why it is called as pi section filter. So out of that the first point is here in the previous discussion I have explained that the output of the full wave rectifier with capacitor filter is, we will consider as this one, the triangular wave. Okay, that is the charging and discharging of the capacitor. So here we will consider V gamma is the peak amplitude of that value, peak to peak value of that output of that full wave rectifier with capacitor filter. That's what here we have considered first this diagram up to this point. So this is full wave rectifier and it is of 230 volts and 50 Hz frequency. It is given to the center tap transformer depending on the diode on and off conditions, that is for positive half cycle and negative half cycle. So that output is given to the capacitor filter. So the output of this capacitor filter we will consider as this one. Okay. So here we have, if you consider this charging and discharging, that is charging and discharging like that it will take place. So this one is V gamma we can consider here. Okay. So now I can represent this output with Fourier series. Okay. So I will find out this waveform Fourier series. If I find out the Fourier series of this one, the voltage across the capacitor is Vc is equal to Vdc minus V gamma or Vr by pi sin 2 omega t minus sin 4 omega t by 2 plus 6 sin 6 omega t by 3, like that we will get. So what is this one? This is nothing but the output of the capacitor. This is the capacitor and the output of rectifier is given to the capacitor, and that capacitor output is nothing but or the filter output is nothing but this one. Okay. So if you find out the Fourier series for this, we will get the output voltage across the capacitor is Vc, that is equal to Vdc minus Vr by pi sin 2 omega t minus sin 4 omega t by 2 plus sin 6 omega t by 2. So here I am neglecting the higher order terms, or if I consider Vc is equal to Vdc minus, if I take this one into the bracket, we will get what? Minus of Vr by pi sin 2 omega t, and it is minus of minus. So here minus is there, if you take this one it becomes plus. Sorry, here it is plus. So that is nothing but Vr by pi sin 4 omega t by 2. So out of this equation we will neglect all the higher order terms here, and what we have from the above equation or from this equation we have it is Vdc. So DC component is we will consider as what? Vdc. And what about the AC component here? AC component is nothing but this V gamma value, that is nothing but here if you observe, if you neglect all these higher order terms, so what we have the AC component, that is sin 2 omega t, and it is multiplied with V gamma. The amplitude of the AC component is here V gamma by pi. Okay. I already explained in the previous discussion the calculation of V gamma. So that is nothing but AC component is equal to V gamma by pi. Okay. So here V gamma is equal to IDC by 2FC. Okay. In the previous discussion I have derived this, and V gamma, that is VR is equal to the ripple voltage is equal to IDC by 2FC. So that is VAC is equal to VR by pi. Okay. So now IAC I require. What I require, because here the output of this one is VAC here. Okay. So across this one, after passing through this, output of the capacitor is VAC here, and I want the IAC, that is the current that is flowing like this, that is IAC I require. Okay. And what is the resistance here? We have, what is the reactance is inductance. So therefore IAC is equal to VAC by XL1. That means what? Because of this voltage there will be some current flow. So that current flow I will consider as IAC. That IAC is equal to what? I is equal to V by R. So what we require here, IAC, instead of resistance we have what? That is VAC by XL1. Because instead of resistance we have the inductance. So this voltage will supply some current, AC current. That current is present across the inductance. That's why here IAC is equal to VAC into VAC by XL1. Okay, that's what here I have written. That is IAC is equal to VAC by XL1. Okay, so what is VAC here? VAC is VR by pi. So therefore I am substituting in place of VAC. So that is VR by pi XL1. Okay, so here IAC is equal to VR by pi XL1. Okay, and what about VR? VR is equal to this one. So I will substitute here. Therefore VR is equal to IDC by 2 pi FC multiplied with 1 by XL1. So this is what IAC, that is the current that is flowing here, IAC at this point. Okay, so now what I will calculate here, if you know the IAC value, you can calculate the IRMS value. So IRMS is equal to, for full wave rectifier, it is IAC by root 2 or IM by root 2. So here we have calculated IAC as IDC 2 pi FC multiplied with 1 by XL1. Okay. So therefore IRMS is equal to IAC by root 2. Here IAC is nothing but IDC by 2 pi FC multiplied with 1 by XL1. So if I substitute that, it is root 2 is there. So therefore we will get IDC by 2 root 2 pi FC multiplied with 1 by XL1. So here we have calculated IRMS value. That is the output of this capacitor and output of this inductor also. Okay, so that is IRMS we have calculated. Now what I have to calculate it? I have to calculate, that is VRMS I have to calculate. Okay, so that VRMS is nothing but the voltage across the capacitance here. So up to this point, what is the current here? IAC, and its RMS value is nothing but IRMS, and therefore what is the voltage across the capacitor? Voltage across the capacitor, VRMS is equal to IRMS into XC1. Okay, sorry, here it is VRMS is equal to IRMS into reactance of the capacitance. Okay, it looks like it is like V is equal to IR. So here I require VRMS. So that is equal to IRMS into XC1. Because in place of R we have what? The capacitance. So we will consider here the reactance of the capacitance, that is XC1. Therefore VRMS is equal to the voltage across the capacitor C1 is VRMS is equal to IRMS into XC1. Okay, so what is IRMS? You can substitute this value in this equation, so that you will get VRMS is equal to IDC by 2 root 2 pi FC XL1. Okay, and it is multiplied with XC1. So if you observe this one, VRMS is equal to IRMS. IRMS value is IDC by 2 root 2 pi FC multiplied with 1 by XL1. So therefore it is multiplied with XC1 by XL1 here. So I will write this term completely here separate, and I will write XC1 by XL1. So here we have find out IRMS, and you can easily calculate the voltage across the capacitor, that is VRMS. VRMS is equal to IRMS into XC1, that is the reactance of the capacitor from this equation. and here IRMS is equal to this value. If I substitute that, I will get IDC by 2 root 2 pi FC multiply with XC1 by XL1. Okay, so this is what VRMS value. So VRMS value, if you simplify this one again here, what you will get? Okay, so what is IDC here? Generally, VDC is equal to IDC into RL, right? VDC is equal to what? IDC into RL. So here IDC is equal to VDC by RL we can write. Yes or no? Okay. So from this one here we have IDC. So that IDC we can have so here IDC we have IDC, that is IDC into RL is equal to VDC. So what we require here, IDC I have to replace because it is VRMS by VDC if you want to find out the ripple factor. So therefore I require here IDC, so that is equal to VDC by RL, load resistance. So substitute this IDC value in this equation. So what you will get here, VRMS is equal to VDC by RL, and the here constant term is there, that is 1 by root 2 pi FC, and it is as it is XC1 by XL1. So what I have did here, that IDC I am replacing with VDC by RL. So therefore VDC by RL multiply with 1 by 2 root 2 pi FC XC1 by XL1. So this is about the VRMS value what you got, or the VRMS value or the RMS value of the ripple voltage what we have at the output of this capacitor. That means what? This pi section filter. So that output of that pi section filter is given to the load resistor, so that we will get the output value. So that is what here. Then what is the ripple factor? Generally in terms of voltage it is VRMS by VDC, or in terms of current that is IRMS by IDC. So here already we have calculated VRMS value, and VDC is a, already we know that VDC directly we have taken here VDC as the DC component. So therefore VRMS by VDC. VRMS is this one, that is VDC by RL 1 by 2 root 2 pi FC XC1 by XL1 by VDC. So here this VDC and this VDC will be cancelled. And what are the remaining terms we have? 1 by 2 root 2 pi FC RL. 1 by 2 root 2 pi FC RL. Pi FC RL. And here we can write XC1 is nothing but 1 by omega C1 and XL1 is nothing but it is 2 omega L1. Okay. So here XC1 is equal to 1 by omega C1. Okay. Here we have to consider 2 omega because here in our all frequency terms that is multiply omega t is multiplied with 2 times here, or we can also consider the AC component consists of frequency term is 2 omega t. So that's why here XC1 is equal to 2 omega C1 we have to consider, and XL1 is nothing but here 2 omega L1. Okay, so these two values I am substituting in place of XC1 and XL1. So XC1 is equal to, it is in the numerator, and it is nothing but 1 by 2 omega C1 here, and XL1 is in the denominator, that is 1 by XL1, that is 1 by XL1 is 2 omega L1. So I have substituted here. Okay, so then what is the equation here? It is 2 here and 2 and 2, 2 to the 4, 4 to the 8, that is 8 root 2, and pi is as it is, and F is as it is, and C is also as it is, and RL is also as it is. But here we have omega square L1 C1. Okay, so the ripple factor is equal to 1 by 8 root 2 pi FC RL 1 by omega square L1 C1. Okay, again if you substitute this, omega is equal to 2 pi F. Omega is equal to 2 pi F. We know that omega is equal to what? 2 pi F. So if you substitute in this one, you will get another equation. So therefore 1 by 8 root 2 pi FC 2 pi F whole square RL C1 L1. Okay, so now it is 1 by 8 root 2 pi multiply with 4 pi square here, that is 4 into 8 is 32. So here I will write that one, it is If I substitute omega is equal to 2 pi f, it becomes 2 pi f whole square. So therefore that is equal to 1 by 2 pi means here 4 pi square you will get 4 into 8 is 32 root 2, and pi into pi square is pi cube, I can write, and FC we have, and RC1 RL C1 L1. So this is what the final equation what we got for the ripple factor of full wave rectifier with pi section filter. So that is nothing but R is equal to, that is ripple factor is equal to 1 by 32 root 2 pi cube f cube, sorry here it is f square multiply with f, that is f cube into C 1 by RL C1 L1. Okay, so this is about the full wave rectifier with pi section filter. Okay, or we can also have here CLC filter or pi section filter. So this is the rectifier, a full wave rectifier with pi section filter ripple factor. Thank you for watching. Subscribe our channel.